Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make incredible progress over time, while others work just as hard but never seem to move very far? At first, the difference isn't obvious. Both people start in the same place. Both have goals. Both want better results. But years later, their lives look completely different because one person understands a principle that most people underestimate: compounding, not just in money, but in habits, skills, knowledge, relationships, and personal growth. Today, we're exploring the psychology of compounding and why small actions often create the biggest results. 1. Most people underestimate small progress. The human brain loves immediate results. We want quick improvement, fast success, visible change. When results don't appear quickly, many people assume their efforts aren't working, so they quit. What they fail to realize is that meaningful growth often starts invisibly. Reading 10 pages today doesn't seem life-changing. Exercising for 20 minutes doesn't seem extraordinary. Saving a small amount of money doesn't feel significant. But when those actions are repeated consistently, their impact begins to accumulate. And over time, small gains become impossible to ignore. 2. Compounding rewards consistency more than intensity. Many people believe success comes from occasional bursts of motivation, working extremely hard for a few days, then stopping, then starting again. But compounding works differently. It rewards what happens repeatedly, not occasionally. A person who studies for 30 minutes every day often learns more than someone who studies intensely once in a while. A person who improves by just 1% each day eventually creates a massive gap between themselves and where they started. Because progress doesn't come from a single extraordinary effort. It comes from ordinary actions repeated long enough to matter. 3. Small habits quietly shape identity. One of the most overlooked effects of compounding is psychological. Every repeated action sends a message to your brain. When you exercise consistently, you begin seeing yourself as someone who takes care of their health. When you read regularly, you begin seeing yourself as someone who values learning. When you keep promises to yourself, you begin developing trust in your own ability to follow through. At first, the habit changes the behavior. Eventually, the behavior starts changing the identity. And once something becomes part of who you believe you are, maintaining it becomes much easier. 4. The biggest results usually arrive later. This is where many people lose patience. Compounding rarely feels exciting in the beginning. For a long time, it seems like very little is happening. The effort feels greater than the reward. The progress feels slower than expected. And because humans naturally focus on what they can see, many people stop right before the benefits start accelerating. But compounding doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows gradually, then suddenly, which is why the people who stay consistent during the quiet stages often experience the biggest breakthroughs later. 5. They trust the process when others give up. People who understand compounding don't expect immediate rewards from every action. They understand that today's effort may not show results today, or tomorrow, or even next month. But they also understand that every small action is contributing to something larger. So while others become discouraged by slow progress, they continue showing up, not because they enjoy waiting, but because they trust that repeated effort eventually produces outcomes that isolated effort never can. And that mindset alone separates them from most people. The psychology of compounding is simple, but incredibly powerful. Small actions often feel insignificant because their impact isn't immediate. But that doesn't mean their impact is small. Every habit, every skill, every decision, every daily action is either compounding for you or against you. The people who achieve extraordinary results are rarely doing extraordinary things every day. More often, they're doing ordinary things consistently enough for the results to multiply over time. Because success is usually not built in one dramatic moment. It's built through small actions, repeated long after most people stop.